Hey there everyone, welcome back to the channel. Before we get into the video, I have a special announcement. As you all know that it is actually for Labor Day, so I just wanted to tell y'all that I hope you all have a great Labor Day weekend, holiday, stay safe, have fun, and I feel like there's something else I should be talking about. What could it be? Oh yeah! Thank you to all of you who have helped. I've reached 100 subscribers, and for all of you, if for nothing else, throw a like on this video for this beautiful sign that was actually made by my daughters for me. So yes, please give them a like. I'm sure they will greatly appreciate it, as will I. And I would just to tell you all, thank you so very much. And if you haven't already, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button for this poster for them. I'm sure that they would get a kick out of it by knowing that they helped to grow the channel just even a little bit, even if it's just one subscriber. Hey, do it for the kids. But for this video, we're actually going to talk about games that are coming physically, fully physically on cartridge for the Nintendo Switch and the Switch 2. So no game key cards, no code and boxes, no everything. These are just fully physical on the cartridge. So just throwing that out there for the collectors out there. So the very first game that we actually have coming out September 4th. Yes, it is when it comes out on September 4th. It is digital, but it is getting a physical release later on. And I had to throw this on here just because of how exciting this is. It's been in development for 7 years. I'm sure probably people know what it is by now. And that is Hollow Knight Silksong. Yes, it's finally here. It was announced, and because of how much hype this game has and how everyone was wanting and so excited about this, actually other game developers have pushed back their release dates because they didn't want to compete with Hollow Knight. And who could blame them a little bit? You only get one chance, and do you really want that one chance to make an impression with everyone to be competing against Hollow Knight? I really don't think so. So, yes, and we will get a physical release for this in early 2026. So we can all look forward to that. And if you're even if you can't wait for it, I think it has a $20 price tag, as was kind of leaked accidentally by GameStop. It could be, if that is true, I know I've heard people talking about that, then $20 probably wouldn't be that bad to pay for it digitally. And then if you really wanted to pick it up later for physical, or you could just wait all the way until 2026 if you really want to. If you're like me and you have way too many games in your backlog, so you have way too much to be able to play to take up your time. But that's me. Might not be all of you. So, very next game that we have coming out the very next day, September 5th, we have Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion. It is coming out physically for the Switch and the Switch 2, which is great. Physical games, boogie game key cards, but this isn't one fully on cartridge. I've heard people talking about they weren't very impressed with the demos. I did not play the very first Daemon X Machina, but I heard good things about it. So I really wanted to try this one for the Nintendo Switch 2. This will actually be my very first collector's edition for the Switch 2. So I will be happy when that comes in. I can open it, possibly do an unboxing. I don't know. Let me know. You can comment down below if that's something y'all might be interested in. Y'all want to see it. I know my very first other unboxing didn't go very well, but maybe that was just because I was new and no one was interested in it. So maybe that's changed. Just, let me know. Then we have a short little break all the way up until September 15th for a game that I had never heard of. I didn't know anything about it until all of a sudden I just happened to see it. I was like, wait, what is this? And that is actually for Lego Voyagers, coming out for the Nintendo Switch. It looks like a pretty cool game. I've played some other Lego games, nothing like this. You're actually a block, and you have to kind of roll around and move around, connect pieces to try to get things kind of like problem solving. And it is a co-op game, which I'm probably going to have fun playing with either my wife or the kids. So it looks like a really interesting game and something that I've never played before. And so I'm looking and maybe I might pick this up. Then a couple of days later, September 19th, we have Toa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree coming out for the Switch. This actually looks like a really good game, especially if you're a fan of Hades, like roguelikes like that, or Silent Hope. It really gives me vibes from that. You get to go through, run around, you're killing up all the enemies, much like Hades, and then there's dungeons, and you get to explore the city. I think people were mentioning that there was kind of like a town building aspect, which seems really cool to me. And so it looked like something really, I can't think of another word other than that it looked really interesting and pretty cool. So this might be something else to pick up, but I might have to put that on the back burner and get something, because the same day comes a very big game that I am super excited to get in, to play, to get started, and that actually is Trails in the Sky first chapter. This is the quintessential entry into the Trails series. So if anyone ever wonders, where do I start in for the Trails series? I mean, there's 13 games out already, I believe. So of those 13 games, where do you start? Right here. This one. Trails in the Sky, first chapter. That is where you start, according to every person that is a Trails fan that I have ever asked. So the fact that it is coming out for the Nintendo Switch and the Switch 2, I am super excited about. And when I say it's coming out for the Switch 2, it is and it isn't, because what it is, you have to buy the Nintendo Switch version and then just pay a $1 upgrade to get the Switch 2. So I was going to be getting the game out of the way. So $1, sure, why not? I'm sure I could find that much money probably if I searched the couch cushions. But next game we have coming out just like a week later, September 25th. I have not heard about this game until I started making this list and was doing research for it. For Agatha Christie, Death on the Nile, coming out for the Switch. It looks like it's a detective game set in the 1970s, and it's based on the Agatha Christie book. There's a movie, and I don't know, maybe I'm just not that cultured enough so that I had never heard of this. But hey, maybe if you're a detective person, like into all those detective games, then this might be something you might be interested in picking up. Not my cup of tea, but maybe yours. Same day, a game that is actually more up my alley that I was interested in is Sonic Racing Cross World. And I'm going to just go ahead and say this, and I'm technically not breaking my rules, because it is coming out for the Switch and the Switch 2. Comes out physically for the Switch on that day. The Switch 2, not so much. Comes out digitally a little bit later on in the year for I don't know what reason. I was never given a reason. I could not find a reason for it. I can't think of a reason other than just spite or something. But yes, but then it doesn't come out physically for the Switch 2 until early 2026. So, if you want to pick it up physically for the Switch 2, and wait, you're going to have to wait till 2026. Next game is actually the very first sports game that I'm throwing it in here. It is September 26th, NBA Bounce, coming out for the Switch. This actually, it's basketball, but you're playing as the mascots of the teams. Not a sports guy, not a basketball guy. That's pretty much all you're gonna get from me. It looked like a cutesy little thing from the trailer. Yeah, I haven't played a basketball game since way back in the Sega Genesis days. So, same day, September 26th, is an actual game I'm kind of interested in playing and more excited about. Pac-Man World 2 Repack, coming out physically on the Switch. It is coming out for the Switch 2. That's the game key card, so not including it here, even though I just told you about it. But neither here nor there. We're just scrap that. Forget that I mentioned it coming out for the Switch 2. But it's coming out physically, fully, on cartridge, on the Switch. So I didn't play the first Pac-Man World 2 for anyone who's watching the videos, but from watching the video of this, it piqued my interest to be able to maybe try it out. Give me another game, another genre to kind of try to break out of the RPG shell that I'm in. And the very next game coming out is another Lego game. September 30th, Lego Party. Where was this? I had not heard anything about this. I don't know what's with all these games. Just kind of, it seems like they're shadow dropping on me, or maybe I'm just not watching the right videos to know about what these are. But it's basically Mario Party, but with Legos. So, I mean, if you're a Lego fan, why not? Especially if you're a Mario Party fan. Hey, it's the best of two worlds just coming together. I mean, yeah, I would pick this up just to probably play with my kids. They like the Lego games. They like playing with Legos, and we love playing Mario Party together. So, hey, we can play it all together as a family. They can get mad at me for beating it. But then the very next game that we have, the final game coming out for this month that I have, same day, September 30th, we have Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. And if you were like me when you heard about this, you were super excited. Like, not screaming to the rafters, like fanboying out. But, I just couldn't believe that this game was actually getting a remake the way that it is in this day and age on a modern console. So I don't want to sit there and say old and make it seem like we're old, even though I am. But everyone who is fans of the original can experience it all again with new features and bring in a brand new audience for this. And who knows, if it actually does really well, which I'm really hoping it does, we might actually even get a sequel and get a revival of Final Fantasy Tactics, like, as a series. So, fingers crossed for that one. And it is getting a physical release for the Switch. A code and box for the Switch 2. But the way to get around that dreaded garbage coded box, it's got a free upgrade. Hallelujah! We can just buy the Switch version, free upgrade, Switch 2. Yes. So, I wouldn't say that Nintendo is listening to the fans, but the fact that they're having a coded box makes it seem like, okay, counterintuitive. Maybe they aren't listening to us. But throwing in a free upgrade is kind of a little bit better for me. Free is good. Free is always good. I don't care even if it's a bad game. If it's free, I'll take it. But this is an amazing game, and to get a free upgrade for it, yes, please. So, if you are excited for any of these games, comment down below. Please let me know if you are interested in picking up any of these games. Are going to be like day one purchases for you. Or if you are, I don't know, a Trails fan, a Tactics fan, for any of these games, if you're just interested, let me know. I would actually be really interested to get some comments to be able to respond to, because I do read every single one, and I try to respond to every single one. And I hope you all actually really enjoy this video. It is not a complete and exhaustive list of everything, because like I said, this is just physical. There are a lot of other games that are just coming out digital, game key cards, no first party. Okay, I say no first party games that we know of. Yeah, that's the key operative words that we know of. We kind of know that there's a direct coming. So maybe we'll get a shadow drop of a first party title for this month. Who knows? I mean, Nintendo's usually always has a direct here in September, especially for this being the 40th anniversary for Mario. I'm sure they got something special in the books. It doesn't make much sense for them to go the whole month and not release a first party game. So we can try to look forward and just kind of speculate as to what that might be. So, anyways, I hope you all liked the video. I'll see you all next time.